So we have discussed about the control system. We discussed about the centralized control system. We discussed about the distributed control system. We discussed about the decentralized control system as well. So when we talk about a blockchain network, it is a total decentralized control system. So, but what is the main importance? What could be the main importance on this network, and why everyone is crazy about it? So the main answer is transparency and trust. How you can trust a data which cannot be tampered or changed, and how you can rely on such technology. So for example, we cannot trust on Facebook or any other big companies. I'm sorry, I'm just calling Facebook again and again, but I mean to say any big organization who is using some sort of data. But how you can make sure that they will always provide rightful information. For example, they will not censor something justified. They will not change your data or shut down your data anytime. So these are the things which is creating a problem of a trust, right? So blockchain network makes sure that the trust will always be there. And how it can come, how a trust can be taken from the blockchain is through because blockchain network provides provenance. Provenance is a feature which means that always you can trace back that particular data on its origin. So its origin will always be there. Nobody can change, and you can trace back it from the beginning of the start of this particular data. The other one is immutability, which means that data can be mutable when it is written in the database. But when we talk about a blockchain network, especially distributed ledger, the way it is chained with different encryption algorithm and making sure that nobody can tamper this data, it is called immutable. Because if someone tries to change any data in the middle, then it means that the chain will get break. And when it get break, then it means that the system is break and it's not honest. So honesty of the blockchain network can occur through immutable feature of the blockchain network. And the third one is decentralization, which means that you cannot rely only on one node which is running on the network, and when it is die, then your entire data is die as well on the and you cannot access it. So it's not like that. So decentralization is more like giving the control to the community instead of single organization or central organization or something like that. So a blockchain network is a combination of provenance, immutability, and decentralization. When you mix all these things, you can get the trust of the data. You can start trusting on this data as well. So because we have these features available, these features have created new concept in the digital world. For example, automation. Now imagine an organization which is working in some sort of a city, and then there is another organization when they need to do any kind of like a paperwork, or because they are buying or selling from each other something, they have to go through a certain process. These processes can be changed into can be automated if they will start using a blockchain network between them. So they can put their process, they can map their entire process on those blockchain network. So the delay and the timing can be reduced, and also that can reduce also the fees between any kind of like if there is any kind of fees, then they can reduce this as well. So the automation can help and can be created through smart contracts on the blockchain network, which helps and empower different organization. Now this can be regardless the private sector or public sector. It can be on a public blockchain or the private blockchain. Verification and authentication is another part which was missing in the conventional or traditional systems or networks. So here, whatever you will write on the blockchain network, you can make you know that it cannot be changed, and you can provide the authenticity or the verification of that particular data to the public or the user who wanted to verify. So this thing was previously available through conventional or traditional, like a Web 2 technology, where a system can provide you verification because they possess your information inside their database, right? But tomorrow, if a hacker comes in and he tampered that data, then of course verification is gone. So this is where blockchain can provide the protection. It's a tamper resistant, so anything you write on the blockchain network can be verifiable tomorrow. Value exchange is another component or thing that you can talk about. Now, in terms of value exchange, I can say like a token, NFT, or maybe digital asset that you can or records, digital asset records that you can possess on the blockchain network, because it cannot be duplicated, it cannot be changed, tampered, or and if it is written on the name of Farhan, then it will always remain on the name of Farhan, because I'm the owner of it. So the blockchain network will make sure that these origin and these the data which is being written and the value which it is possessing can be used. Now, having a value exchange in terms of cryptocurrency, it has opened the entire new model. Now people start thinking other than fiat into cryptocurrency, and they are now thinking that having some sort of like a service, I mean, if they are providing some sort of services, they can provide also an access that you can pay through the cryptocurrency instead of paying through fiat. So this is another part which is able to, I mean, because cryptocurrency is the byproduct of blockchain technology. So this is, you can think about like a Bitcoin or Ethereum and so on. Evaluate corruption. Again, having this kind of thing, like now imagine the degree attestations is something like still in every country is required when you are moving or when you wanted to have any new admission. So having these kinds of stamps on your degree, it's now sort of like an old fashioned. Now universities needs to have a network between each other, so they can provide like a proper evidence that, yeah, you already passed from this particular university and so on, this degree is right degree. So these kind of things can be done. And also having blockchain network within governmental departments can provide a lot of benefit, especially when you can start tracing financial irredundancy and financial discrepancy between different departments, so that you can make them whole accountable if they are doing some sort of corruption. So having a blockchain is like a miracle, is something like a blessing if they are using. New ecosystem between businesses. Again, previously all these businesses, if one business is sending an invoice to another business and the other business is then shipping its goods to the other having an invoice and then sending the merchandise or shipping something, all these things require a lot of paperwork. They can be gone and can become totally digitized if using a blockchain network between them. So now if there are like 2, 3, 4 different companies, for example, in the supply chain, there are a lot of companies involved in doing this thing. They can start using a blockchain network, and they can reduce a lot of like fees, like charges and cost. They can reduce the cost, they can reduce the redundancy, they can reduce the delays and so on. So these kinds of ecosystem, we have to think about it, because the blockchain is so powerful that can help and give and power everything, especially in terms of these specific points. There can be more use cases that you have to think about, but right now as a entire blockchain feature wise, you can think about in this perspective.